Many of my childhood memories are linked to my paternal grandmother, who I grew up really close to. She was born in a small village in Romania in 1925 in a family of 12 children. And because she was one of the youngest one, all her things were handed down from her older siblings. The family was poor, so she learned how to spin wool so she could knit her own clothes. And when I was born, she started knitting clothes for me and then taught me how to do it myself. Until the Parkinson disease affected her hands, she knitted and crocheted many blankets and pillows for our house. All her work used yarn leftovers. In fact, I don't think I ever saw a new store-bought skein in her basket. She would just unravel old sweaters and scarves and combine colors depending on whatever she had available. There were only 2 crochets which she never got to finish into a pillowcase, and I kept them because I wanted to finish her last project. Although she moved away from her village when she was young and she married my grandfather, she never really got to travel that much. And when I went to study art in Germany, it was very hard for her to imagine my life outside of Romania. I often think of how I've seen so much more of the world than she ever has. After traveling through India and Mexico, in 2011 I moved to the United States. In 2016 I was living in San Francisco and I traveled to Chile and Bolivia. And from there I returned with 2 hand-woven pillowcases from the desert of Atacama. I had them in my living room for about 3 years until they finally started falling apart. I really liked how they looked like they were made out of scraps of materials stitched together by hand, because they reminded me of my grandmother and her playful pillows she had made out of all her leftover yarns. During those first years in San Francisco, a friend came to visit my housemates and he ended up staying with us for 3 months. He is an antiques dealer and he spends most of his time looking for objects which are wrongly priced and resells them. During his stay with us, he stumbled upon a standing lamp that he bought for $30 and he could have sold it for $1,200. He gave it to me because I needed a lamp in my room. But during one of my house moves since then, the shade became unstable and started sitting crookedly. It's been like this for over 2 years now, and I haven't been able to find a replacement for the plastic ring which broke. Antique stores can be an endless source of inspiration for me. The Alameda Point Antique Fair is the largest antique show in Northern California, and I went over the Bay Bridge many times to wander through its endless aisles. One Sunday I found a water spigot with a bird as a handle. To turn the water on or off, you had to turn the bird. And I really wanted to make a lamp out of it, similar to a lamp I saw at a friend's house in Berlin back in 2008. I had even made a painting of it when I was living in Los Angeles after a picture I had of it. The green patina reminded me of the outdoor statues and cupolas of the old churches in Italy. Italy was one of the first places me and my parents visited when traveling outside of Romania became possible after the Revolution of '89. The bird also reminded me of my mother's nightgown. When I was little, my father used to work in a textile factory as a pattern designer. He had graduated from the art university in Bucharest, and he had been assigned this position because this was the custom in the communist times back then. My mother's nightgown was made out of one of these leftover textiles he brought home. I remember asking her about the green birds on it, and she would tell me how pelicans carry fish in their beaks while they fly. I think that mixed in my imagination with storks, and for a long time I believed that pelicans carry human babies in their large beaks. I used to wear this nightgown when I was in high school in Romania, and I took it with me when I moved away. I've had it for over 20 years now because I've been meaning to modify it to my own size. For me, objects are the safekeepers of memories. They link us back to moments in our life and people who we have shared them with. When we touch objects, they touch us back. When we throw them away, we throw away part of who we are.